Did you hear the great news? Did you hear about the exciting sale? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and wannabe girls, NBA teams of all ages, the New Orleans Pelicans are having a yard sale. Check out our liquidation prices on role players who think they are superstars. We have a 2019 Brandon Ingram, Cheech and Chong included. We have a 2021 Zion Williamson with 2 flat tires. Everyone is for sale except Trey Murphy and Herb Jones. Due to compassion clauses, we can't bring ourselves to separate these besties. Make us your best offer and come buy these part-time NBA role players who think they are stars. Earlier this week, David Griffin announced, well, KC, don't you mean David Griffin? Nah, David is far too masculine for this bald bull. Any man who values compassion over winning, he prefers to be called Dana. Unless, of course, we're talking about Dana White, the only Dana who is infected with toxic masculinity and can kick your ass. But anyway, David Griffin announced that the Pelicans were listening to offers for damn near everyone on the roster. They are finally willing to trade Brandon Ingram. Problem is, no one wants him. And no one wants him because Brandon Ingram is one of the worst types of NBA players that you can have. Brandon Ingram is a role player who thinks he's a superstar. If you're looking for an undersized guard who would be undersized if he was playing at the high school level, if you're looking for an undersized guard who is a streaky shooter and below average defender outside of sneaky steals, your team can be the proud new partner of Jose Alvarado. Well, that sounds great! The only people not available to be traded in New Orleans are Yves Missy, Trey Murphy, and Herb Jones. More than likely, most people never heard of them. Oh, and Zion Williamson. He is not available to be traded either. But KC, I thought you just said Zion was on the market. I heard he's looking for new OnlyFans models in new cities. Yeah, the Pelicans want their fan base to think that they're interested in trading Zion Williamson. The fan base is completely over Zion. They want him shipped out on the cheapest freight liner, but judging by the asking price, David Griffin has absolutely no interest in trading Zion. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Link to the main channel in the description below. From what I understand, David Griffin is willing to trade Zion only if the offer is significant, which is why I say this is nothing but a virtue signal to the fan base. David Griffin has no intention of trading Zion Williamson because he knows if Zion is traded, he is likely to get fired. There's absolutely no way you can allow David Griffin to be a part of this new rebuild, at least in terms of a full rebuild. This asshole has already fucked things up bad enough. But if they hold on to Zion Williamson, they can sell this as a soft rebuild. We are finally committing to building around Zion. Yeah, you should have been fully committed to building around Zion 6 years ago. Problem is, you weren't. You kept trying to build around Brandon Ingram because he wanted to be part of the family. You kept building around B.I. because he wanted to be in New Orleans. But did you ever ask why? Why would B.I. want to be in New Orleans? Why in the hell would anyone want to play for the Pelicans? Brandon Ingram likes being in New Orleans because there is no pressure to win. There's no pressure to be great, to be elite. His supporters, they are still living off of a first-round playoff series from 3 years ago. Anytime people defend Brandon Ingram, they point to a first-round playoff series against the Suns from 2022 where the Pelicans lost. 9 years in the NBA, Brandon Ingram, he has won a grand total of 2 playoff games. This dude is not a star. He doesn't have the potential to be a star, and he will never be a star. However, Zion Williamson has that potential, but it is detrimental to his career for Zion to stay in New Orleans because he doesn't have anyone in the building or on the coaching staff or in the local media who is willing to hold him accountable. Zion Williamson doesn't have a leader. He doesn't have a man in New Orleans willing to push him to be great. If you're Zion, this trade needs to happen now. Miami, New York, Denver. You need to go somewhere where they will hold you accountable. But it ain't going to happen. Because like I said, this is just another bluff from the used car salesman. This is another lie from David Griffin. Think about it. Think about it. Who in the hell would be willing to trade for Zion right now and give you something significant for him? He's injured with no timeline to return. Who would be willing to make a substantial offer for Zion Williamson? The answer is no one, and David Griffin knows it. Give me your thoughts. Do you believe this bullshit? Do you think the Pelicans are actually serious about trading Zion Williamson? I ain't buying it. What about you? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.